Hi, this is Chris and this is Riding Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at clutch control. So as you can see from my previous video, we're doing a three-parter on how to ride a 50cc motorbike for beginners. So this bike is a Fosty F50 and it will do 45 miles an hour. So to start the bike, you turn on the key, you let the bike prime, pull in the clutch and then let it run. This one's been running for a couple of minutes now already due to the fact that when you try and pull off when they're cold, they probably won't like it. So you've got to set your bike up to you, and at the minute this bike is set up for general, for anybody. So you push down into first gear, and as you can see my hand is holding in the clutch. The best thing to do is put all your weight on your left leg, put your foot on the brake on the right side and hold on the brake on the left side, on the right side too, because then if by accident you let go of your clutch, the bike isn't going anywhere. So the best thing to do is pull your front brake, rev it up to about 3,000 and then just release until you feel that little bit of a lift up on the back wheel, and practice that a little bit so that you know where your biting point is. Now there is a adjuster just here, and you can adjust it so that you can either bring the choke lever back or forward. The other thing you don't want is, we'll adjust this wrongly. So at the minute that's adjusted wrongly, and it just means that there's loads of slack before you actually get to the engagement of the gears. So that's wrong. So the best way to do it is the cable here is sticking out, so pull back, and as you release the clutch, pull the cable with it and then just spin that there. Now you want a little bit of play on this, because if it's too tight you won't be able to get it into gear. If it's too loose, it will be in gear all the time. So what you need to do is start the bike again, make sure the bike is in neutral, which is just a little tiny click up. So that's in first, and neutral would be there. You can feel it. It's different to going up into another gear because it's more of a pull up. So just put it down into neutral. This bike and quite a lot of the other bikes have actually got a gear indicator, so they will tell you what gear you're in. So yeah, let go of that. The best thing to do is always have your hand on the brake, so if you are in the wrong gear and you let go, all it will do is cut the bike out. So when you start, you should be at about 3,000 revs. Slowly release the clutch, making sure that the revs stay high, and then go forward. Remember, always hover over that brake lever so that you can stop at any point. As like before, it's not going to hurt if you do that. You just got to make sure that you are taking, just being careful, take into consideration all the time that if you're doing it wrong, your bike could go. So left foot down, keep your right foot on the brake. Same thing, it won't go. So that's the best thing to do. Just get it up to where you want it to be, so about 3,000 to 4,000 revs. Take your foot off the brake, release your clutch slowly and just walk it. If you get your clutch control right here, it means that when you go out onto the road, it's something that you'll just instinctively pick up, and it's not going to be a problem for you later on. The other thing with the clutch is it has more than just changing gears. You use the clutch also and the gearbox to slow down when you come into a junction. So if you come into a junction at about 40 miles an hour, you can apply the brakes, or you can do what's called engine braking, and you put it down into third and release, and because of the way that the gears work, that will slow you down to about 30. Stick it into second, release, that'll slow you down to 20, and then first is the gear that's going to slow you down the most, but you don't want to go straight from, say, fourth gear straight into first, because potentially you can lock your back wheel, and if you're not a seasoned rider, you may have trouble controlling it when the back wheel goes. The other thing as well is, any time that you're thinking you're going to have an issue, oh no, I can't stop it from going forward on its own, this is the oh shit stick. So just pull it in, pull your brake, back brake, and then you're not going to go anywhere. The other thing you've got to remember is 90% people, well, not 90%, say 60% of all 50cc riders will drop their bike at some point. It's one of those things, it's going to happen. None of the panels on these bikes are very expensive. You may bend, break your mirror, you may damage your end stop, and you may bend your handlebars and stuff like that, but none of that is massively expensive to do so. We've had some people here that have come out, got straight on their bike with all the confidence in the world, and dropped it just outside the door. So that's something that you've got to take into consideration as well. If you are if you pass your driving license before February 2001, you are legally allowed to take a pillion passenger on your bike. Now when you do that, you've got to remember that the pillion passenger will change the weight of the bike and stuff like that. So when you're pulling off from on a hill, you've got to put a hell of a lot more revs. And when you've got your grandfather's rights, you don't have to take a CVT. I'd recommend you do so anyway, just because if you've never ridden a bike before or never done anything, it doesn't matter what it is, and you jump straight on, and potentially if you get it wrong, these things can kill you, it's not really worth taking the risk. Also remember that if you are riding a 50cc motorbike on L plates, you are not allowed on a motorway. So you're allowed on dual carriageways, A roads, B roads, but you're not allowed on a motorway, and you will, well, it is very, very dangerous. And especially on a 50, when you're driving on a motorway, you've got all the lorries overtaking you all the time, and that can be really, really scary. When the lorry passes you, it creates a wave of air, and that pushes you all over the place. So I hope this has helped. If you haven't seen the first video already, can you please click the link up there? Should be somewhere around here. There's going to be another video next week on how to actually ride, and we'll go out and we'll do some riding, and I will tell you what I'm doing while I'm riding out there, so that you can get the feel of what it's like to ride one of these bikes when you're out on the road. Please comment below if you've got anything to say, and also if you've got any questions, comment below and I will do my best to answer them. Hit that thumbs up. It takes me quite a long time to do these videos, and I very much appreciate all the positive feedback you can give me. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell to stay updated to all my latest content, but as always, ride safe.